Good morning. My phone was just like, hey, you need to deal with the pork belly you bought. So I gotta do that today. How is everyone today? I have a matcha latte and I'm really excited about this.
Oh, morning. How are y'all?
What am I gonna do with the pork belly? I might make yakisoba with it. But I have a lot because it came from Costco, so I could also, like, maybe finally try making char siu bao. Because I bought that steamer.
Yeah, from IKEA.
Uh-huh.
Do you know IKEA sells steamers?
Sometimes.
They sell the little baskets for buns.
Oh, this is so good.
Good.
Kiki, come here.
IKEA does sell everything. Hi, everybody. It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Thank you all for training. I was trained while I was making myself a tea.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbors are gone.
Yeah, they are gone.
Moved kind of quick, to be honest. Like, considering that, like, when we move, it feels like it. I'm awake now. When we move, it feels like it takes a while.
They had a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, and I feel like they moved quick. It was like, there's a truck. Oh, they're gone. Anyway, that was 1600 from gold lighting. You wanted to make sure that I was awake. I'm awake now. Those are the neighbors that brought us food. Yes, probably the best neighbors we've ever had.
Yeah,
because they brought us food. It's real easy. Like, if you want to be my friend, just give me like a
tasty food.
Just give me a food. That's it. That's all I need.
It was a lot of stuff we hadn't tried before too.
Yeah, it was fun because they would give us something and like I have no idea what it even is. Sometimes they would say the name of it, and sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes they'd be like lamb. I'd be like, okay. So we had to figure it out from like the vlog. Like the vlog audience would watch and they'd be like, "Oh, I know what that is." I'm like, okay.
Come here, baby. Come on.
Come on up, snuggle.
Come snuggle.
Come snuggle.
Come snuggle.
Come snuggle.
You're so close. Are you scared of snippling? That's not for kitties.
Not yet. Where you want to be? You want to be here?
Oh, but I have blanket.
Yeah, but I'm Stephen George.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Hi, boy. Sweet boy. Good morning to you, friend. He woke me up a little bit in the middle of the night last night.
I remember him purring at one point.
Yeah, he had been snuggled up against me, and I had woken up, and I don't know if he could tell, but he started purring, and then he walked up to the nightstand, and then he just kept tapping me on the neck. He was just like, neck, and I was laying there on my back, and then I like glanced over at him, and he's still purring like, and I was like, buddy, I'm trying.
Are you terrifying?
I'm trying to go back to sleep. Tap. He was not using his nails. If he was, it was like just barely using them.
Noah's just peeling up your Carter.
Yeah. I was awake for like an hour or more last night. I woke up to pee, and I did not fall back asleep super easily. And then around the time I fell asleep, my watch data was like, you fell asleep, and then you woke up like 3 or 4 minutes later or something. And I think that was when he was. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let me read some alerts. This is very hot.
Do you need me to sit down for a little bit?
No.
Noah said if he was using his nails, it would have been the end of your life. He got Brandon the other day.
A cat can kill you.
He got Brandon really bad the other day.
Didn't even mean to.
Yeah, because Brandon was giving him a treat, and he
like
reached for it.
At any point, if a cat decides to like nail your eyes, then that's just it. Like if you're laying in the bed and they have access to your face and they decide to do that for whatever reason, like that's just, you're out of luck.
He's real sharp too.
He needs
to be trimmed.
I haven't trimmed his nails in a bit. It's time.
It's time.
He also sharpens them so much that
yeah, he does.
By the time I do it, it needs to be done again. All right, where was I? 36 months from Lost Vagabond. Congrats on the 3. We had 54 months from Darkness Bride. 24 months from Sweet Serene. We're getting there. 42 months from Gamer Girl Life. 27 from Linders. Lost Vagabond gifted a sub to Malier. 62 months at Tier 2. Gold Toast for Kaylin Lux. Anise gifted a sub to Tsunami Kitten. 25 months from Reniner. 8 from Haley92, 20 months from Anime 1990-11, 58 from Vegetable Sorbet, 48 from Epic DXX. Congrats on the 4. 51 months from Dude 4269. We got 300 bits from Genesis. It says, good morning, everyone. Today is going to be a great day because it's my birthday. I'm turning 24 today. That also means tomorrow is John's birthday.
Happy birthday, Genesis.
Happy birthday. I hope that you have a good day. I hope you get to eat something that you want to eat. It's my favorite part of a birthday. Like, and it's not even like dessert for me. Like, dessert can be fun, but I don't know. If I'm craving something, I'm like, I'm allowed to get it. Like, if I want to sushi, I'm like, it's my day that I can have that.
It's been a while since we've had sushi.
Yes. But it's neither of our birthdays.
But it's almost John's birthday.
I don't think we generally go celebrate John's birthday.
If John was here.
Yeah, tell John to visit.
I've been trying.
Tell him to visit tomorrow, and then we'll get sushi. We got 300 bits from E Squared, who says, hey, grandparents, first time making it to breakfast stream because I took the day off for my birthday. Back-to-back birthday.
Happy birthday, E Squared.
Happy birthday. Also, happy first time being here. I'm glad you're here. And I also hope you get to eat something that is very scrumptious that you want today. I mean, for some people, like, it is going to be a dessert.
Yeah. I was saying, something that I want to eat is yakisoba.
Oh.
I bought all that pork belly.
Oh.
From the Costco.
Is that something you want to do soon?
I either need to freeze it or cook it.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
I love that. You made that beef stew and it was delicious. And I think I ate everything in the fridge, right? It's just, the only stuff left is
freezer.
Mm-hmm.
It will not be streamed this week. I have plans for that.
Yeah, you already have plans.
Yeah.
Do you want to wait a week on yakisoba and do yakisoba for stream?
Maybe. It's a 2-part thing though. That's hard, and it would be a very, very long stream because of that.
Okay. Well, that's fair. We got 46 months from Jacket K, 25 from Kit Khalid, 60 months from Arion 661. You got the 5. Congrats on 5. 13 months from
Stegosaurus.
Ale Stegosaurus. And 14 from Good Fortune Coffee. Thank you. There's also an art in the queue, which I presume is safe to show, so I will show it. Look at that. Animated snibbling. I love it. Excellent work. We gotta make sure that Haley sees that. A lovely creature. A lovely creature. Lovely creature.
Dishnet said that they did not get to try barbecue when they were here.
Gotta come back.
Yeah.
Gotta come back. I mean, there's no shortage of barbecue restaurants to try.
But Danny's.
Danny's is good.
Danny's is very good.
I do like Danny's. But there's a bunch of them that are good. Mm-hmm. Oh, Haley, you're here. I wasn't sure if you were here or not. Good. I'm glad you got to see that.
I don't think that latte was enough caffeine for me today. I think I need to go get coffee.
Okay. Oh, you did not. Oh, you didn't see. Oh, you missed it by a second. Oh, I'm so sorry. There was animated art of the snibbling. Oh, well, it's on Twitter. I actually don't have the ability to play it again. That's not a thing I have. Sure, put it back in the queue. Put it back in the queue. I'll let Vagabond put it back in the queue, and then Haley, I'll show you, since you just missed it, and then you can see it. We also had 24 months from Rebel Tech TV. That's a 2. Congrats on 2. And 2 months from Bogey73. Appreciate you. Thanks. Dishnet says, I will put Danny's on my list for if I come back. Yeah. Yeah, do so. Is there spoken words in this? Yes. Probably. I didn't imagine that. Okay, just to start. That's fine. I'm less concerned about it being in there and more concerned about if it was real. Okay. Art loaded back up into the queue. Haley, here is the art. Devoid art. Did the snibbling out for a walk. It's just very good. It's very, very good. I'm glad we got to rerun it. Thank you, Vagabond. Oh, what did I press? Accidentally slammed my finger into the keyboard. It's not always great. Not always super good. We had a first-time chat from Elites MGS, who says, amazing background. Do you own every title for the Xbox categories or just a majority? Oh, I don't even own a majority for Xbox. We do own every N64, GameCube, Wii, and Wii U game. We own full libraries for those. But we don't have... we actually don't really have that many Xbox games. That's just like what's back here. Maybe someday. Yeah, but he's starting with me. I don't know. I don't know how many more full libraries we'll work towards, since it's hard, and also the video game market has changed to where everything is expensive. But maybe someday we'll finish Super Nintendo, because that would be very fun for me. But Roland really wants us to finish PS2, and I'm like, it's a lot.
Roland.
We got 300 bits of shy. Says, on the earlier subject of moving, I now have to start making preparations to move in the next 6 months. The hospital I live by bought up all the properties around, so it was either move or live surrounded by parking lot. Well, at least you have a fair bit of warning, which is good, but still good vibes all the same. Because, like, that's being told, like, hey, you have to move is, you know, I know from experience several times now. It's not fun. And I'm glad that you have as much time as you do, but still, the act of moving is just awful. So, yeah. I hope that you are able to make that transition as smoothly as possible. I had saw someone earlier was asking if we met up with Haley's parents. We did.
A few times
We've
now.
actually seen them a few times. And yesterday they were over here for a little bit. Haley wanted them to, I mean, for one, see the work that she had done on Snaby and the Snibbling, but then also to see like the video game collection, because like Haley's dad plays video games. Most famously, which I just think is a fun story, Resident Evil 4 for the Wii. Haley has described that situation as idiot savant, like very, very good. And like apparently very, very good at Resident Evil 4. So we got a chance to show off the games. We have a few.
A couple.
We have a couple. But whenever they were here, that was one of the first things that Haley's mom had mentioned. It was like, you know, moving must be awful. And I was like,
yeah.
Yep.
Sure
is. It's... You know, and because we've moved so many times in the last few years, because of just all sorts of things, like, now that I'm here, I'm like, man, I just really don't want... Like, the hope of owning a home someday, like, that's great. I would love to do that. But I don't want to move for a long time. I'm so tired of moving. I'm so tired of moving. I don't want to move anymore. It's so difficult. There's so much equipment.
Yeah, it's not just the games. It's the shelves. It's the equipment.
There's a lot of equipment in the house. I mean, there's a lot of furniture too. You know, I mean, like movers will move the furniture, but it's still a whole thing. It's like I was talking to someone about this the other day. And they were like, you know, they didn't have a whole lot of furniture, and they liked that. That was like a pro for them. And they're like, you know, you have a lot of stuff. And I'm like, it's true. I said, but also, you don't acquire this much stuff overnight. Like, this is like 10 to 15 years.
Yeah. We started with a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. You know.
And like, we had a bookshelf like half the size of this, and that was full, but that was it.
Yeah. So it takes a long time. Like the acquisition of furniture is like a whole thing in and of itself. It takes a long time. But we finally have like furniture, and some of it is old and some of it's like not super good.
Renee says, I know that we have roughly 10K pounds of household goods. It gets weighed every 3 years. That's
how you know. I forget what... There was one of the moves we did where they wanted to know the weight, and I was like...
How are we supposed
to know that? And they're like, well, you know, you just go around, look at your big stuff, and like weigh, like figure it out. And I'm like... No idea. But they whatever the truck was... They were like, okay, because they were like, do you have like less than this? Because they were asking us just like items, and we're like, yeah, okay, that sounds right. And then whenever they started to load it up, they're like, oh my god, this is so much more. And I'm like, you asked about the items. We told you the items.
Yeah, there was one move. We gave them a list. We were like, all right, it is one of this bed, one of this bed.
It was when we came to North Carolina, right? Yeah, that move. Yeah, the first time we moved from Myrtle Beach to Raleigh.
They would also like question things. They're like, well, what is this piece of furniture? And I'm like, well, that's the buffet. And then he had to go to my list and he would be like, oh, well, here it is. And like, I was accurate in that. I didn't like lie about the furniture we had.
Yeah, those guys were really nice, but also I didn't... There were little bits about it that weren't super great. Because like, in the middle of the move, like the guy guilted us over it.
Yeah.
Which was a bizarre thing of like, this is just a lot more stuff. And I'm thinking, it's not more stuff. It's the same amount. I'm sorry that it was like either bigger or heavier than you thought, but like it's the amount of stuff. Yeah. Haley says, my mom was convinced that all the video games are a library and the public should be allowed to use for research, and I still don't know what that means. I mean, there is the Video Game History Foundation.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like working towards that. But that's like Frank Cifaldi and his thing. Mm-hmm. And like that's a real thing. It's just not happening in my home. But, you know, in the Raleigh Collective, if someone needs to like borrow a game, they just let me know. Mm-hmm. And that's generally fine.
And sometimes they borrow it by just coming over to play it.
That's true. And I've talked about it before, about how sometimes people just buy games and they live here. Like, they buy the game and then they just put them here. Like, Alex bought the Demon's Souls remake for PS5. Like, he does not own a PS5, but he bought it and put it here, and he's like, I'm gonna come over and play it. And he has, so like, you know, those things can happen. We got 12 months from Owl, my dude. That's a 1. Congrats. 44 months from a person, dude 1. 300 from Shy. It says, I would never classify my dad as a gamer or someone who plays video games, but growing up, I recall he dominated at one game, Pac-Man, something he grew up playing in arcades.
My dad would play PS2 with us.
Yeah.
And sometimes he would get games for him. But we would play them. There was some like
racing games?
They were almost always racing games.
Yeah.
There was one we had that was like a kart racer. Off-road? I don't know. It's on the shelf. I just have to find it.
My dad played video games with me growing up because, like, from a very early age, it was clear that it was an interest of mine. You know, my parents got an NES for the house when I was very young, like 2 or 3 years old, and I don't remember what the logic or reasoning was. I don't think they bought a new one. I think it was like a secondhand one that they bought, but you know, I really fell in love with it, and me and my dad would play Super Mario Brothers, and then we didn't have the NES super long before we got a Super NES, because by the age that I got an NES, the Super NES was out, because it came out in North America in '91, which I would have been, you know, 2 years old. So we got a Super NES, and then me and my dad played 2 main games together. We played Super Mario All-Stars, and when we played All-Stars, we only ever played Mario Brothers 1. Like, it was a big deal because we had played Mario Brothers on the NES, and this was like the new graphics version, and that was neat. But we didn't play Mario Brothers 2, we didn't play Lost Levels, we didn't play Mario Brothers 3, like...
Missing out.
Those are not games that we played. We only really ever played the first one. And then we also played Donkey Kong Country 1. And we would see, like, how far we could get. So, I really don't have any strong memories about playing any other video games. And then it wasn't until the Wii came out that my dad, like, really latched on to Wii Sports. Because the Wii came out, and then I went to college, and my dad would... You know, I'd talk to my dad like every week or whatever, and he'd be like, you know, I'm getting better at Wii Sports. And he got to the point where he just, like, every time he played, it was like a perfect game in bowling. Mm-hmm. And then Wii Sports Resort came out, which added the motion, and that made it a lot more difficult. And he had, like, a new goal, like, to work towards. But he eventually did. He eventually started getting perfect games in Wii Sports Resort. So, yeah, he's probably put several thousand hours into the Wii bowling stuff. I don't think he's played it lately.
No.
I don't think he's really played it a whole lot in the last few years, but there was a period of a few years there where he was just like every day. And my mom doesn't play video games. We got 510 bits from Anise. She says, I saw a TikTok of 3 friends who bought an abandoned school building and turned it into apartments. You could always do that for the cult. We did look into that at some point. We looked into
Sometimes in Discord, that's the sort of property we'll send to each other.
Yes. We've looked at abandoned school buildings. We've looked at abandoned churches, which probably would have made the cult vibes through the roof. We've looked at apartments too, like abandoned apartments. So there was all sorts of different things that we were considering, but like trying to get some of that stuff off the ground when you don't even live in the area is hard. So we decided that it would be easier and cheaper to just get into an area and rent and then figure things out later. I say all that to say it's not an impossibility that like we might live in a weird building someday. I don't know. But yeah, that's true. Do not underestimate the cost of renovations. It's very expensive to do something like that. So maybe at some point. But for now, we're here. And I hope we don't move for a long time. We also had 12 months from Amaya A. Congrats on the one. We do need a construction person in the cult. That would be nice.
My dad knows a little.
Can he build a house?
No.
You gotta make friends with someone who can build a house. Or we could just figure it out.
Yeah, let's figure it out.
Let's just figure it out. Let's just, like, give Alex a hammer. Just give Alex a hammer and some wood and be like, I trust you. It's probably fine. Probably turn out okay.
Yeah, probably.
It's like a little wooden shack. I don't have any of those skills at all. Like, not even, like, in the slightest.
See, I know some repair skills.
Still awake.
But, like, my dad was always doing house projects, and at some point he was an apartment manager. So, like, basic repairs, like...
Yeah.
I can fix a toilet.
Yeah, and you...
I know how to lay tile down and, like, grout it.
Yeah, no, between the two of us, you've always been, like, the far more handy one. Mm-hmm. Which has been really great, because Mal already knows how to do a bunch of stuff, and also, the key thing is Mal's not afraid to, like, do something. So...
Noah said, let's fix it.
Like...
I fixed toilets. I fixed, when the guys moved in, their landlord, all of their toilets needed new flappers on them. And then their landlord bought that and had them put in, and they were the wrong ones, so none of their toilets actually got fixed. They just kept running, you have to jiggle the handle.
Yeah.
So I had to go in and figure out what the problem was, and I figured out that it was wrong. So then I was like, this is the part you need, Brandon, and Dan, and Josh. And then they each had to order one for each of their own bathrooms, and then fix it.
Mal knows how to do all that stuff, which has been very, very helpful, because that is not my wheelhouse at all. So, by the way, that was 1600 bits from Reed, who says, since I'm finally able to make it to a breakfast stream, have a little scare. It's my second scare today.
Brandon, I wasn't going to tell that part of the story.
Yeah, $200 a month in running toilet water is, that's a bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it was solved, because that's... sorry, to put this quite literally, you were flushing money down the toilet. Ha cha 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 cha. I'll be here all week. Here, eat this.
Scream all you want when you eat Tiny Eddie's yelling yellow mustard danishes.
Wow. Scream all you want when you eat Tiny Eddie's yelling yellow mustard danishes.
That has to be a Thomas one. Because it's scream and yell.
I mean, it could be a coincidence. It could be. This could still be a coincidence.
We can never know.
I don't know that this is actually a Thomas one. I will say, though, that the yellow mustard Danish is good. That sounds good.
Disagree.
I would try that. Like, it's not what you would typically associate with a Danish, but I would absolutely eat one. I really like yellow mustard. I feel like there's a lot of people...
I'd rather have any other mustard.
Well, yes, there are a lot of people that they're not huge mustard people, but they will eat honey mustard, or they might have Dijon, and
Dijon's
they
good.
really draw the line at yellow. Like, they do not like yellow mustard.
We have a Polish mustard right now, and it's so good.
Yeah, and I like all of those, but yellow mustard is so unique. It is just potent. And I love that about it. I think that that's very good.
Someday we need to go to Madison and go to the Mustard Museum.
Please. Please. Would love that. That was 1,000 Bits from Leaf. It says, Mr. Tiny Eddie, can I please have a very wacky snack today? Also, good morning, everyone. I hope your days are going well today. Well, thank you, Leaf. And yeah, that's a pretty wacky snack, a yellow mustard Danish. But if I could get someone to make one of those for me, like, I would try it. I don't think that'd be terrible.
I will not be, sorry.
Honestly, so think about it this way. You'd put yellow mustard on a pretzel, right?
Mm-hmm.
A Danish...
Why don't you just get a croissant and
kind of
mustard?
It's kind of like that. Like, you wouldn't put glaze on it. I don't want it to be sweet, but like, you can make that. You can make that happen. That's a stream idea.
No. You can do it on your stream.
That's fair. Also had 50 months from Melzy D. Thank you. Appreciate it. Speaking of streams, we probably need to talk about that today.
Yes.
Because...
there's a stream today.
Well, I was going to say there's a stream tomorrow.
There's a stream tomorrow.
Yeah. So today...
But tomorrow...
Today we're back to Pikmin. We've had a little time off from Pikmin. And we are doing Pikmin today at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's in 3.5 hours from now. Mm-hmm. So, looking forward to that. I don't really remember where we were.
Yeah.
So, we'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
I have an idea of where we are.
But tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, I will be playing Starfield. And then, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, Mao will be streaming a stream. Do you want to talk about what you're...
I'm going to be making freezer jam with Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon, are we doing apple or grape?
Or do you have to choose?
We have both.
I mean, will you be doing both? You just be doing one on stream.
I think we're going to do one on stream.
Okay.
And the other maybe after. Yes, okay.
You could combine them.
The stream? Or
No,
the jams?
no, the jam. Like,
no. I want
Okay.
apple and I want grape.
Okay.
It's a very special grape, too. I'm very excited, because a lot of people probably don't know about the grape.
I mean, you're right, actually. That's true.
Mm-hmm. It's a special grape.
It's true. Yeah, if you're not already following Malmix on Twitch, here is your chance to do so.
It is a local grape. A southern grape.
Yeah, local to the region.
Yes.
But yeah, it'll be a fun stream. So that's tomorrow evening. So tune in then. Extremely local. The grapes are under the couch.
I got them from the farmer's market on Sunday. Someone got it.
So, yeah, tune in. That'll be tomorrow. And that's... I mean, and Disco and Lee's tonight. And that's all the things... Yes. Well, there's more to talk about, but we'll talk about it on Thursday. And while I'm thinking about it, because the thought will leave my mind, for patrons, the Patreon video is done. It is not out, but it is done. It is recorded, so I will get that out today. It's been a very wild weekend for me. Like, there's been good parts of the weekend. Like, I'm trying to continue this mentality of like,
We went to the farmer's market.
do try and not do a ton of work on the weekends. Try and use the weekends for, time off. But then also there was like some IRL stuff that I had to deal with. So like there was it was a wild, eclectic collection of things this weekend.
Yeah.
But I survived. So I'll get the Patreon video out today. And I will run the beans. The beans are still... These are still October beans.
I need to remember to do that today.
If only there was a way to remember things.
Remind me at 5 p.m. to update beans.
That late?
I have a haircut today, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Enjoy your haircut.
I will.
We had 21 months from Aiden Nietzsche, 36 months from Tokunut. Congrats on the 3. 25 months from Shadowplay626, and 300 bits from Tokunut with a cardiac rehab clown. A variety of special clowns. Thank you, Tokunut. Yeah.
You know who else gets a haircut today? Alex.
Yes, so today you're getting a haircut and Alex is getting a haircut.
Mine's after Pikmin.
Yours will probably end up looking different than his.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. It'd be wild if you both walked out with the same haircut.
Especially because we're going to different places.
You never know.
They're so delicious, a mime will thank you when you give them Tiny Eddie's delicious mime treats.
Okay, Thomas wrote these.
Yeah.
1,000 Bits from Dishnet says, I wonder if Eddie had some food hidden at the baseball event on Saturday, and if so, what would it have been? They're so delicious, a mime will thank you when you give them Tiny Eddie's delicious mime treats. They're treats for mimes. It's really to the point. Straight to the point. Did I talk about that?
I don't think you have.
I haven't had an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Honest to God.
You want me to put photos in mod chat so they can put them up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. And then we'll have, yeah, you can put the group photo. Mm-hmm. Do you have the group photo? Did I post that to
I saved it so I could send it to someone.
Okay, so the group photo and the commentary booth or something. I don't know if there's more. I'll let you figure it out. Now I'll put some stuff up. So yeah, I'm realizing now that this event happened Saturday.
Actually, can I have your phone?
I mean, I'll just do it.
Okay, you do it.
I'll just do it. Will you explain?
We have a 25-month resub from Caspar Stone Nature. Thank you.
When I said explain.
I'm going to, yes.
Oh, okay.
So, Dishnet was in town over the weekend. And Dishnet has done commentary for the Olympics esports baseball for Power Pros.
Yes.
And there was an event in Durham that Dishnet got asked to commentate for the same game. And it was the USA eBaseball finals that were happening in Durham at the Bulls Stadium. And Dishnet was like, hey, I'm gonna be in town. And we were like, can we buy tickets? But Dishnet pulled some strings and got Steven and I in, and we were like, oh, that's, we're thrilled. And I think, how did it go back and forth? Something about
There we go.
everyone else in town, and Dishnet was like, yeah, they can come too. So we had a huge group. It was all of us except Josh, who was busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Haley says MVP Dishnet. Yeah. Dishnet pulled strings, and it was great, and we got to go.
Yeah, so
I got them on the list.
The list. I had seen that Dishnet posted a
About
while
the event.
back in the Discord that it was going to be in Durham, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. That's something that I would like attend, and we weren't sure initially if they were going to have like tickets for sale or whatever, but Dishnet was able to just like get us into the event, which was very very
super cool.
And then, because I was like, it's very, very, this is really cool, but like also, if they end up doing tickets or something, let me know, because like, I think more people in the Raleigh Collective would want to do this. And eventually he was like, oh, we can just get them in the list too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show these images. You can see here. So there's Dishnet doing the commentary.
And Dishnet, you're phenomenal.
Yes, the necessary energy of a sports broadcast.
Yes.
Very, very good job.
And knowledgeable about like what's going on.
And here's our group. You can see Haley's parents are there too. After the event, we took a photo. So yeah, that was Saturday, and that felt like such a long time ago because of like all of like how so much stuff I feel like has happened since Saturday that I was like, I've certainly have talked about this on the stream already. No, there weren't any streams between Saturday and now, so I get to talk about that. So
we all had a great time. Like, we've been talking a lot about it.
Yes.
Still.
Yes. That was a very, very good evening. So it was a very interesting event also. Mm-hmm. Because like when you in your head when you picture like an esports event, you think of like stadium seating with like, and this was a much more like private, small event, a very like intimate event, and it was very nice that we were able to go. So again, thank you for that because it was fun.
And it was neat that it was at the Bulls Stadium. And like, cause
it did take place at the Bulls Stadium,
home plate, and like the whole field.
Yeah.
So like it was a neat backdrop, and they have the stadium done up in Christmas lights right now, and
yeah. I don't know that we talk about on the vlog the fact that we went to the wrong stadium.
I don't think we told Dishnet that either.
The email that I got from the coordinator for the event, not Dishnet, was like, it takes place at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't an address. It was just Durham Bulls Athletic Park. And I was like, okay. And I was at my computer, and I just opened up the Maps app and put that in. And it gave me one result. And I was like, okay, this is it. And I attached that location to the calendar event. So then, that calendar event is what, both me and Alex were using to drive. And we drove to the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. And Matt, we had actually been there before to park because...
Yeah, we've parked in that parking lot before.
Like, we met up with Seth like a year or so ago, and we were over there for a gaming something. So Alex beat me there because we were having a really hard time finding parking. Mm-hmm. And we finally found parking like after a few minutes, and Alex was like, we've already been over here, and like this is not it.
No.
Like, it's definitely the normal stadium. And Haley was like, we're heading to the normal stadium. So then I was like, okay. And actually, as they were telling me this, we had finally found parking, and I was in the
middle of paying.
I was like, I hadn't paid yet, but I was like about to hit the button of like, yes, charge me money to park here. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're not going to be here. And I was like, okay. So then I didn't pay. We got back in the car. We drove to the normal stadium.
See, one is like the historic Durham Athletic Park, and the other is the Durham Bulls Athletic Park.
Yes.
They're not far apart.
They're very close. Probably like 5 to 10 minutes driving with like a little traffic.
And see, we were driving into Durham, and I was like, look, there's the Bulls Stadium. That's where it is. And Steven's like, no, we're not. That's not it.
I was like, Mallory,
the map says
look
we're
at the map.
still a few minutes.
Look at the map. We got to follow the map. We can't, it's, there can be more than one baseball stadium. We got to go to the other baseball stadium. And we did go to the other baseball stadium. And it was not that.
Siri told me.
Anyway, we arrived
right on time.
We had intended to get there early to find a spot to park. And we got there, like, we walked into the event, like, at the moment it started. So, like, we were there on time, but, oof. Anyway, it's been a few years since I've gotten Apple Maps. But I did get Apple Maps on Saturday, so... It's fine. It's totally fine. Fossix is right. This is why you arrive in an event early. Because you could just go to the wrong place. You might just go to the wrong place.
But it was a great time. Thank you, Dishnet.
Yeah, I sincerely enjoyed it. It was a fun event. And then after that, I didn't know what what the energy of the group would be.
We didn't have a plan. We had ideas.
We didn't have any sort of plan or anything, but we left the event and I was like, so
what we feel like doing?
Are we going home or like whatever? And everyone was like, well, let's go to like a bar.
Yeah.
And just hang out.
Because we live in Raleigh. We don't live in Durham.
So it was a novelty.
Yeah, it was novel.
It was a novelty. And like, I don't know what anyone's like vibe or energy levels or whatever are going to be. So I was like, oh, okay. So we actually, we stayed out for a bit. Oh, are you posting?
I posted the photo. We went to, we ended up going to a few places, but one of them we went to, Dan, Brandon, me, and Haley were sitting at a table. They had to split us up because it was tight quarters. And Alex is sitting at the other table, and he's like, you guys, like, hold still for a second. This looks amazing. And so he took a picture. And we were saying it was accidental Renaissance.
Yeah.
And then you edited the photo.
I touched it up a little bit. I barely did anything.
Yeah.
But this is the photo that Alex got. It's a good photo. It came out really, really good. So that was fun. I was in the bathroom and I came out and everyone was talking about this photo that Alex took and I was like, oh, let me see it. Mm-hmm. And I saw it and I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely want to edit that. So it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, I the only thing I really did was make it look blue. Mm-hmm. We had 14 months from Hawkeye Elite. Appreciate it. Thank you.
On the iPhone SE too.
I think that's honestly that's worth noting, right? Because like you can get a good photo. Mm-hmm. Like the it's not, I'm not gonna be so bold as to be like the equipment doesn't matter. Equipment does matter. But like you can get a good Alex calls his iPhone SE iPhone bad. And it's because like almost everyone else has iPhones and he's the only person that has an iPhone SE. So he calls it iPhone bad. But like iPhone bad is fine. Like you can do it.
Big cat yawn.
Which SE? Ooh, second gen.
I think it's second.
It's second gen. He has an SE Apple Watch, which is first gen. And we don't talk about that. That's we don't need to talk about that story. But the iPhone SE that he has, I think, is second gen. So, but when will Apple come out with the iPhone good? Yeah, it's because another thing actually to point out about that is like, so the iPhone SE is like that's their cheapest iPhone that they offer. I think it's $399, and even in the State Fair vlog, there's some really cool shots that Alex got in the Ferris wheel.
Oh yeah.
So that entire section.
I was thinking carousel. I'm like, that wasn't a carousel.
Yeah, well, carousel, but turned upright. That thing. Was it second gen or third gen? I don't know. Whatever, like the most recent SE is. Because the SE, the next SE isn't out yet. So maybe it's a third gen. I don't know. It's whatever the SE is. But like that even shoots, 4K 60. So he shot that footage in 4K 60. And there's plenty of light because it's outside in the day. And it looks great. Mm-hmm. It looks great. Like the sensor in those is obviously a lot smaller than the normal iPhones and the Pros. But like on a nice sunny day, like, oh yeah, they look great. What does SE stand for? Sucky Edition? I don't know, actually. I probably knew at some point, but I don't remember at this point. Yeah. So I'm glad that he got that footage that day, and I'm glad he took that photo. It was nice. Did you get clean?
He's working at it.
Goodness. He's really going to town. Yeah, Brandon says, I recall from the comments that folks were surprised that came from Alex's phone. They could not tell the difference between the 15 Elite Edition, you mean Pro Max, and SE. Yeah,
Listen, he doesn't have an iPhone.
Yeah, the stuff blended very, very well together. And that has everything to do with light. Mm-hmm. Has everything to do with light.
Good light help. Yeah.
That is a common problem, I think, in like the YouTube scene. It's like people are like, I gotta get a new camera, and I'm like, do you? You need lights. Cameras require lights. Instead of buying a new camera, just buy like lights. It'll help a lot. But it is very interesting that with how good some of the phones are getting, like you can intercut phone footage with cinema camera footage, and as long as you're careful about how you're filming things and the look that you're going for, like you can blend that stuff together too. So it's wild. What a weird time we live in. I'm so happy about the time that we live in. Read 52 months from Silvana. Appreciate it. Brandon says, don't buy a camera. Use phone. People watch on their phone at 480p by default. Just buy light. I mean, that is the other thing, is that, like, you know, if you were to take that photo at the bar and look at it on, like a TV, like a full-size TV, then, like, yeah, you might start to see some of the things. If you were to zoom in on it, you'd be like, okay. But the thing is, most people these days, they're getting all of their information on a phone anyway, so it doesn't even really matter unless you're planning to like have prints.
Yeah,
it probably doesn't matter.
Break bread with an evil axe murderer and try Tiny Eddie's frosted forgiveness wafers.
I'm guessing that's supposed to be
I
wafers.
heard whoppers.
Supposed to be wafers, I'm sure. Unless wafers is a new thing that I don't know about. This is definitely written by Thomas. That's bits from Hawkeye Elite says, good morning. Eddie, what food can I start this morning of my vacation with? Ooh, I hope you have a good vacation. The first morning of a vacation, like starting a vacation, is like, that's a fun feeling. Break bread with an evil axe murderer. And try Tiny Eddie's frosted forgiveness wafers.
We just watched Halloween.
We did. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, I think we did too.
Yeah. That was fun because we hadn't seen it. You should watch more scary movies. I mean, I guess that one wasn't very scary.
It's not very scary.
But, you know.
Oh, yes, itch ear.
Oh no, buddy.
Buddy.
Buddy. Buddy. I have to get a Q-tip and help you out. Get in there and help.
Yeah, I think he needs help.
I think it's time to help. Now David Lynch says, did you talk about movies when I wasn't around? That makes me sad. We watched Halloween on Halloween. Most of us had not seen it, like, front to back. And not on... if we'd watched some of it, it had been, like, on television.
Yeah.
Which is a different experience. So it was fun. It is not a very scary film, but it's a classic.
It's a classic. Mm-hmm.
And maybe at some point we'll watch
any of the sequels.
Well, yeah, there's a new one.
Yeah, there's a new one.
There's a new one that's either out or coming out sooner. I don't know what it is, but it's like a new one where it connects to just the first one. So like you just skip all the other ones. Because there's multiple timelines in the Halloween series, and I don't want to watch all of them.
Yeah.
That's like a lot. It's a lot of effort. Nope is another one that was on my list of like, oh, I want to see this at some point. Haley says, can't we watch good movies? Girl.
You gonna be okay?
I don't want to watch Halloween 13. I didn't say... I literally said... if we watch... There's a bunch of them. And I said, if we watch another one, we will watch the new one. We wouldn't watch all of them. We would watch the new one. Because it connects to... It's a sequel. It's like you don't need the other ones anymore. Like, it's just... That's the canon. That's the canon. You watch the first one. I think it's... Yeah, you watch the first one, and then there's one that's like 40 years later, and like that's its own timeline. So like that would be a contained... That would be fine.
They'd be good bookends.
Yes. Yes.
If we put all the others in the middle.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting, you know... Can't we watch a good movie that isn't Halloween? There are many movies that we can watch. I would love to. I would love to watch more movies. We have been doing a reasonably good job of doing that on some Saturday afternoons. I hope that we continue to do that. We probably will not watch very many scary movies because nobody seems to like them. When we bring up the idea of watching a horror film, everyone in the group is like, I'm like, and give me the chance to pick the movies. I can tailor my picks. I mean,
I would be curious what NDL has to like suggest for all 7 of us.
I would, yes. NDL, you can start. You can post this in Discord if you want to think about it for a bit. You can start with like a movie recommendation for me. Like one
for Steven?
One for me. Movies I like. Bleak, Hopeless. I mean, a lot can be said for like if there's very interesting cinematography or editing. Unique films are good. So, yeah. Do you want something everyday life hopeless or big deal world ending hopeless? Either are fine.
I feel like everyday life hopeless is more what you like, though.
Sure. Yeah, world ending hope, like when the scale is that big. I like movies of all kinds, but like whenever you're looking at like an individual person and like this is bad for this person. Chaz, maybe I don't need to move.
Yes, NDL, he's fine with subtitles.
Yeah. You know.
Listen, Chaz, you can come over and we can watch all the riff tracks we want.
I like funny movies. Sab says Steven once recommended 3 movies to me. Dan and Mal both sighed and said they were all depressing. I do like depressing films.
That tracks, Sab.
But you know what it is? I like to feel something. You know? I like to watch something and like really feel something. And I feel like I get that.
The bicycle thief, Italian 40s.
Yeah. How about happiness? We could feel happiness instead.
Brandon's comment was good too. Did you see it?
No. Hold on. Let me scroll up. Scroll stopped working.
A little bit further. There. If the bleak, hopeless, unique, unsettling mood is delivered with an effective cinematography, you're going to make Steven faint.
I mean, I like all of that stuff. So here's the thing. Though. Recently, we watched Jane Austen's Mafia. Who was the one that suggested that?
You.
Me.
And we felt happy feelings.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm just because I like this specific type doesn't mean I also don't like a bunch of other things. I love everything. It's great. But, you know, I like funny movies too. I like action movies. We only ever watched the first John Wick film, but that was very fun. It was extremely fun. I'd love to watch the rest of those at some point. Yeah.
Give me
I don't
the
know.
bird.
There's lots of things I like. I like lots of things. I like lots. Yeah, we were watching Die Hards at Christmas. What we've
There's
seen.
one left, I think.
Well, it depends.
Okay.
There's one in the original set, and then there's like 100 more. But yeah, there's one left. The last one. Last one has Samuel L. Jackson in it, and he's just on the phone a lot. The movie is about Samuel L. Jackson being on the phone, I think. But yeah, we can watch that at some point. Where were we? Reed gifted a sub to Sab Irene. Thank you, Reed. We had 10 months from Ice Nuke. 500 bits from Shy, who says, I like Bleak and Hopeless. Man, the anime I should be recommending you is Serial Experiments Lane or Steins Gate.
I've seen Lane.
I've heard of Steins Gate. Chaz has made recommendations for anime for me before. The hard thing I have with anime is that there's like, oh my god, there's 3 birds on screen at once. This has not happened in a long time.
Bird Parade.
Bird Parade. Incredible Bird Parade. The issue that I have with anime is that like it's not over in 90 minutes. That's the it takes a long time to watch it. I like movies because it's like, you just watch it. We are watching Futurama, but we're watching it with the assumption that we're not going to finish it for like a long time. We're kind of casually going through it.
And we've seen a lot of it.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I mean, some of it feels new in a way because I'm like, I don't even remember some of these. We got 509 bits from Anise, who says, Stephen reminds me of one particular movie critic here in South Africa. He's like our version of Roger Ebert, and I have learned that when he likes a movie, it will either be depressing or straight up traumatizing. Yeah, I don't want to give the false impression that I only like those movies. That would be incorrect. I like all sorts of movies. When I think of some of my favorite movies, I'm like, that's, on there. But also, films that have interesting bits in them. We watched Amelie recently, and Amelie is so great because of the set design and the careful planning with all of the color. Like, it's so great. Like, they also do some really interesting, like, editing stuff.
Yeah.
Post effects, but that's a great film, and that's not depressing at all.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe parts of it, or maybe a little.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1600 from Goal Line again says, how is this for bleak and depressing? I'm awake. 34 months from Pickletron XD, and 500 bits from Reed, who just says, bird. So anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap up today.
Okay.
If you weren't here for the middle of the stream when I announced it, we got a few streams coming up.
Pikmin today.
Pikmin is today at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's in 3 hours.
Disc only later.
Disc only at...
whatever disco time is.
I don't ever remember what time that is. Tomorrow, at 1 p.m., I am streaming Starfield again. And then tomorrow at 7 p.m., Mallory is doing a cooking stream with Brandon where they make freezer jam. If they would like to participate in that, what do they need?
I don't think that's possible because it's going to be muscadine grapes.
Well, could they make their own if they just have their own fruit, or is it specifically tailored for muscadine grapes?
It's for muscadine grapes.
Oh, okay. Well,
you're
SOL.
You can still get a little bit of knowledge on freezer jam.
Sure. You could learn something, right? Yeah. You will need a jar. You need a jar. You need a Brandon. You need a grape. Fighter from Microwave Dallas says, have you watched Sully yet, or Pink Floyd's The Wall? Both are good. The Wall is something bleak and depressing, definitely, but it's essentially a feature-length music video. I have not seen either of those. I have not seen either of those. In fairness, like, I actually really haven't seen a ton of films. I really haven't. Because I haven't spent a lot of time in the last few years watching movies. Like, wanting to, and then just, like, not. Way to go, film it. I mean, that's the way it was in college. Mm-hmm. In college, I was surrounded by people that had seen all these movies. And I was like, no, I haven't seen that.
Give me the bird.
It's fine. You know what I think is important? The important thing is, I'm an adult. I have limited time. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, on this earth, but also, like, limited time, like, to do things. I am spending my time, for the majority, like, doing things I want to do. I have a desire to watch films, and when I watch films, I'm either doing one of two things. I'm either watching stuff that I really do genuinely want to check out and watch, or I'm watching films with people I want to watch films with. That doesn't always insinuate that the movie is bad, but, like, those two things are important. Mm-hmm. So, like, even if I'm watching a movie that, like, I didn't pick out, and I'm like, this is not something I would have chosen, like, that is an experience in and of itself, and I like that. So let the other people pick out the film. I have, in a big way, I have.
We do rotate. It's not always Stephen picking.
Yeah. Because, like, Isle of Dogs, that was Dan's choice. Mm-hmm. That was a great film. Anyway, 500 Bits and Read says, one more bird. Bye, bird. And 24 months from Mean Dean. Congrats on the 2.
Cuddle up by the fire with a book and ignore it when you try Tiny Eddie's phone scrolling sleep tea.
I just want a book next to me.
Whew, that's a lot. 1,000 Bits from Microwave Dallas Terrace says, Eddie, what should we eat with our movies? Cuddle up by the fire with a book and ignore it when you try Tiny Eddie's phone scrolling sleep tea. I'm going to add one thing here to this stream before I wrap up. I don't know if I ever actually mentioned it on the vlog. Probably didn't, but Mao is back upstairs. Sleeping back upstairs probably for, the last week? Week and a half?
Since before Extra Life.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Okay, so since before Extra Life. And I don't know what it is, but when you're upstairs, I go to bed.
It's because you don't want to go to bed later than me and wake me up when you go to bed.
Maybe that's it. I don't know that that's exactly, but, like, when Mao's around, like, I go to bed. Normally, Mao's the one that sits up and reads comics or something for a little bit, and I fall asleep first. Mm-hmm. When Mao is not up here, I didn't always do a great job. I would get in bed, and I'd be like, well, let me just read about this, or check this out. Like, I need to probably learn about this thing. And I would do that, and there were multiple nights where, like, I just did not go to sleep because I was like, I don't know if I was, like, restless or what, but that happened a lot. So I'm really glad you're back up here for, like, a multitude of reasons, but amongst them is the fact that, like, I actually seem to go to bed. I probably need to read this ostrich egg Wikipedia article. Mr. Deathkills, that is a real thing that happened while Mallory was downstairs.
See, I have the comics that I read, and then, like, they all update on different days. So, like, sometimes there's, like, a few to read, sometimes there's one. I finish that and I can be done and go to bed.
I generally have self-control.
Uh-huh.
When you're up here, like, I get in bed and I'm like, I'm tired, I have things to do tomorrow, I'm gonna go to sleep. When you weren't here, that was just lifted, and I was like, oh.
Should I go somewhere for a while?
Please don't.
What if I take a trip?
I need to sleep. I really need to sleep. All right, that is it for today. I sincerely wish I had something to send you to. I wish we could do a vlog raid. We're not there yet.
No.
It's been a whole thing. Vlogs will probably start dropping again shortly. And like I said, there will be a Patreon video today. It's already done. I just need to release it. But I will see you later today
At 1.
at 1 for Pikmin.
3 hours.
Please tune in. It will be fun. And 62 months from Cinder Dog. Cinder Dog, thank you. Where's the button? This is the button. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful afternoon. And I will see you in a few hours for the continuation of Pikmin 4.